everyone. Welcome back to My Computer Career's Tech Out. I am Russ Munisteri, Assistant Director of Education, and also in studio our very talented videographer, Mark Hanna. Before we kick off our topic, I want to start off with a segment called Cyber News. Recently in the news, Capital One made a huge withdrawal, Mark, for $80 million. They had a breach where over 100 million customer applications for credit were just stolen. How did all this happen, right? Was it a Cyber Day attack? Was it an insider attack? Well, it came down to a misconfiguration on their open source web application firewall, also known as a WAF, okay? How does all this happen, okay? It seems like to me they did not do risk management to the fullest extent, okay? So basically what happened, information on the back end was stolen, applications were fooled, and then before you know it, information was stolen. That cost Capital One $80 million. Also in the news, the University of Utah, Mark, the University of Utah, the College of Social and Behavioral Science, they ended up paying almost $500,000 for a ransom attack. So what happened was PII, personally identifiable information, was leaked out. And the attackers, they threatened to leak all this information on the net if, of course, Utah did not pay. Okay, well, Utah was able to restore the information, which was great. Backups were working, perfect. But to keep information safe, they ended up paying this ransom, again, almost $500,000. To a group called Netwalker. And, Mark, you know what's funny here? Netwalker made roughly $25 million last year in cyber attacks. Isn't that crazy? $25 million. It is nuts. Today I want to talk about the IoT. Internet of Things, Internet of Everything. Before I dive into exactly what it is, let's talk about some of the hacks that have taken place in the past. One, Apple's face palm bug. This was an interesting situation. So a mom of a teenager actually warned Apple about this. So back in January 19th, there was a FaceTime call that was made. And as we all know, FaceTime is Apple's version of a video call, right? So a teenage friend added another friend to a group call. But before that person was added into that call, this person was able to hear the conversation. Okay, that's a problem right there. Long story short, Apple did eventually fix that situation. Okay, let's talk about casinos. We all love casinos, right? Vegas, Atlantic City. Mark, if I told you there was a major hack with the IoT dealing with a fish tank or an aquarium, would you believe me?
No.
You wouldn't believe me on that one. But high-paying customer information was stolen because of an aquarium. Not just the aquarium, but there was a Wi-Fi temperature thermostat that was embedded into that aquarium for a central location to monitor the water and all that stuff. But a hacker was able to hack into that sensor, access a back-end database, and able to steal customer information. Moral of the story is secure your IoT devices, right? Secure them. Okay, what is the IoT? Internet of Things. Let's go back in history a little bit. Back in 1982, good year, I was a little boy, okay? Computer science graduates at Carnegie Mellon University connected a Coca-Cola vending machine to the internet. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. They basically, the programmers, they had created an application that was able to check the availability of the temperature of the drinks. I think that's pretty cool. In 1999, this technology was officially recognized. Internet of Things. So what is the Internet of Things? It's basically connected physical devices, right? It is inexpensive, okay? It has Wi-Fi connected to it. We are basically taking dummied down devices and slapping intelligence to it, okay? And what's going on here is that these devices are communicating with each other real time. Let's take, for example, we have sensors out there, sensors that can monitor carbon monoxide, temperature, humidity, pressure, vibrations, and motion. Keep vibration in mind because I want to talk about that. Data analytics, okay, they can determine trends and patterns by analyzing big data, small data, stuff like that. Other examples, tracking, monitoring systems, for example, GPS or a radio frequency, RF, right, to track property. How about smart barcode readers? We've all seen those in the stores, right? Healthcare systems, and those are always collecting data from patients such as sugar levels, oxygen, blood pressure, weight, and stuff like that. It's all part of the IoT. Now, it's not all about stuff like that. It's not all about light bulbs. It's not all about thermostats. Let's take a really good example of how the IoT was put into place to reshape Barcelona, Spain. I thought this was amazing. And when I was reading on this, I was just thrown back at how Barcelona turned it all around because of the IoT. All right, back in 1980. In the 1980s, Barcelona was having a problem. Industrial unemployment was on the rise. It was a mess. It was a mess. So Barcelona had to do something. They revolutionized the economy with the Internet of Things. But the question is here, how did they do it? How did they do it? All right. First, Barcelona. They formulated a definition, and I quote, "A self-sufficient city of productive neighborhoods at human speed inside a hyper-connected, zero-emissions metropolitan area." They turned it all around. This city installed roughly 19,500 smart meters that can monitor and optimize energy consumption in targeted areas. So, in March of 2014, the European Commission named Barcelona as a European capital of innovation, or the iCapital. That is some cool stuff. Now let's dive into what Barcelona did. Okay, let's talk streetlights. We all know streetlights, Mark, right? They installed LED streetlights, right? But these streetlights also monitored pollution, humidity, temperature, and the presence of people and noise, all coming from a streetlight. Who would think, right? Not me, right? Waste disposal. They installed smart bins, right? And these smart bins were able to transport the waste into underground storage, right? Which then, this reduced, of course, the smell of trash, right? That was waiting to be collected. This also lowered noise pollution from collection vehicles. So, why should a vehicle come around if there's nothing really to pick up, right? They installed city bike systems, which reduced the amount of vehicles on the road, okay? They also put in place what's called a Fab Lab. Fab Lab, F-A-B-L-A-B, Fab Lab. And basically, this is cool. These are small-scale workshops, right, that were designed or are designed to educate citizens on a smart city. Really cool stuff. They modified bus transit systems by installing hybrid buses to reduce emissions. Noise sensors. These are low-cost, easy-to-use sensors. These, again, detect air pollution, noise levels, humidity, temperature, stuff like that. Okay, what else did they do? Drivers also got modified. Systems were put in place that would further guide them to available parking spaces. How many times do we go to a store or are we driving in a city, especially major cities, and we're looking for parking spaces? We're just driving around and around. I know I do it up in New York. It is crazy. Barcelona has a solution for this. Parks were also modified by installing sensors to modify water usage for lawns, plants, stuff like that. Excellent stuff. You can see what Barcelona did by utilizing the IoT for the better. And they increased their economy and just made quality of life for their citizens even better. It wasn't just Barcelona, Mark. We also have Sydney, Australia. Here's another cool one. The famous Sydney, Australia Harbour Bridge. This thing has been around since 1932. It started production 1923, opened up 1932. 95-year-old parts. Here's the problem with this bridge. How are you going to maintain it so it's always safe and secure for its people, drivers, so forth and so on, right? By installing sensors. The parts are getting older, okay? This is the world's tallest steel arch bridge, and it's the 6th longest single-spanning arch that is out there. It's going to take a force to inspect this bridge. So what did Sydney do here? What did they do, okay? Just a quick fact, 1932, an average of roughly 11,000 vehicles crossed this bridge daily. That's a lot of weight. That is a lot of vibration. That's a lot of wear and tear, correct? All right. So in 2012, now it's up to 160,000 vehicles daily crossing this bridge. Compare that to 1932. You do the math. I can't do it in my head. Okay? Now, what's going on? The bridge it's suffering some damage here. Oxidation, rust, all that stuff. Parts are stressing. So what did they do to monitor this bridge, right? Inspection costs. They cost a ton of money, a lot of manpower, okay? They installed roughly 2,400 sensors that are detecting vibrations. This is all part of the IoT, right? They are using this technology to monitor the increased freight loads and traffic volume 24 hours, 7 days a week via a web-based interface. That cuts down on manpower. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be the person going up on that bridge, climbing way up there to inspect something. I'd rather have a sensor to give me all of that information, right? So here, their goal, they were IoT proactive. Visual inspections are going to be reduced a little bit, more safety, and of course, they're going to save on those long-term costs, right? So that's what they did there. Sydney did a fantastic job. So those are just two fantastic examples of how the IoT was utilized, is still being utilized for the good. It's not just about light bulbs and I'm in the thermostats here, right? It can be used everywhere. So the question is now, when it comes to IoT, how do we secure it? Because the biggest problem with IoT is security. It truly is. So talking about at the device layer, the things, right? Internet of everything. Identity proofing is important, okay? Data integrity is important. With encryption, encrypt everything. Everything gets encrypted, right? Physical security, very, very important. At the gateway layer, as information is going to and from. Again, encryption, encrypted communication between IoT and where it's going and its destination using TLS, right? Wi-Fi encryption, strong algorithms, for example, the elliptic curve, okay? These are the type of things that you want to put in place for this to be secure. Now, at the service layer, okay, you want to have policies in place. You want to have proper IoT management in place. User access control, role-based. You want to set access control based on the role of the user. So no matter who comes into that position, they have this set permission. Keep that in mind. Role-based access control is very, very important. And of course, change management. Anytime there's a change, you want it documented, and you want to be able to trace back and hold folks accountable for their actions. Again, the IoT, very important. You want it to be secure. According to Norton.com, Mark, according to Norton.com, by 2025, get this one, Mark, by 2025, they are estimating 21 billion, now I said billion, IoT devices out there. That is crazy. 21 billion, okay? Cyber criminals, they are going to continue to use the IoT devices to facilitate DDoS attacks, distributed denial of service attacks, all the time. Smart cities are going to be building more and more, popping up here and there. Yes, definitely, smart cities, keep that in mind. Artificial intelligence, huge with the IoT. 5G networks, they are going to continue to fuel IoT growth. Okay, 5G network is now being rolled out. I can't wait. I can download pictures of cats and dogs way faster now. I am so excited about that, right? Cars are going to get smarter. Be careful of car technology. Manufacturers like to sell everybody on their latest and greatest technologies on the road. It's all IoT, folks. It's all sensors. It's all sensors, all communicating all over the place. Just be careful, okay? All right. Mark, we are at the end of this exciting show. We are at the end. So what does that mean? That means if you really like this episode, I want you to like it. If you want to stand by and wait for the next episode, I want you to subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll get all the latest alerts. Until then, folks, I'm Russ Munisteri, Assistant Director of Education over at MyComputerCareer. Thank you so much.